Do you know what is the most important thing to you? Do you know what matters to you the most? This is what we call values. Yes, values drive our everyday lives. Values determine so many things about lives. Values determine our priorities, how we set our goals. Values determine our happiness. They determine whether we are satisfied, whether we are fulfilled as individuals. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about how to find your values and prioritize your life around your values, the things that matter to you the most. My name is Njabulo Madonsela on Growth 360, where we're committed to your growth, your development in every area of your life. Now, firstly, to find your values, you need quietness. Yes, you need quietness. You need to be alone and you need to be quiet. You could be seated, you could be lying on your bed, but you need to be quiet. That is the first exercise. Now, this is a very important exercise because oftentimes when we need to find what are the things that are important to us, we ask people, what do you think is the most important thing to me? But no, in this instance, you need to be alone because you are the person that should know what is the most important thing to you. And if you don't know that, no one else should know it for you. Now, I'm giving you an exercise that's going to help you to find out for yourself. Quietness. Secondly, you need a pen and a book, ideally a journal or a diary. Now, you're going to write something down. Yes, we will be writing things down, and you're probably thinking, oh, here we go again. We'll be writing things down and writing and writing. Of course, it is important for you to write down. Why should you be writing down, ideally in a journal or a diary? Firstly, when you write things down, you crystallize them, you make them clear. They become clearer to you. When you write things down, you understand them better. When you write things down, you enforce them. It means you bind them. Remember, when you sign a contract, normally you have to sign it on paper. And so when you write your values down, or when you start writing something down, it becomes legally enforceable between you and yourself. Thirdly, so that it doesn't get lost. I mean, books are not easy to get lost compared to cell phones and other electronic gadgets. Now, the third thing you need to do is to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. Remember, you're quiet, you have a pen, and you have a book. And now you're asking yourself a question. And this is a question you should ask yourself. What are the most important things to me? What are the things that matter to me the most? And probably when you ask yourself the question initially, you will not get answers. You will not really know what are the answers initially. It's okay. It's okay. Keep thinking and ask yourself that question. Now, the next step, which is the fourth step, is to write down everything that comes to your mind. Everything. Write down, list everything that comes to your mind. And once you've written them down, you go to the next step, which is where you will cut them down to the top 5 values. Now, research has it that we organize our life around the top 5 values of our lives. Now, the most important things to us are the ones that are in the top 5 of our values. The way we live our lives is around the top 5 of our values. And if you have top 5 values, you have now a framework on which to begin to plan your life and to prioritize the activities of your life. Now, you need to cut them down to 5. Now, this may be a very difficult exercise, I tell you, because you've got a list of probably 12 or 20. And you're wondering, how do I organize now so many things I've written down to top 5? Ask yourself the question again. Of these, what are the most important to me? And you've got, for example, themes that maybe are connected like spirituality and faith and religion, or you've got financial security and making money, then you could find a way to align those themes into one because they're related. But just put them into the top 5 of your values. Now, once you have top 5 values, begin to prioritize the activities of your life and your time around these activities. Now, this is where what we call balance. A lot of times when we say we don't have balance, it is usually because our priorities are not in line with our values. When you prioritize the activities of a life around your values, then you are living a balanced life and you begin to live a more fulfilling life, a life where you know that everything that you are doing is in line with the things that are most important to you, which are your values. Now, the last step, which is the most important exercise of all, is to set goals in line with your values. Set goals in line with your values. Now, let us recap. I said, number one, you need quietness. Secondly, I said you need a pen and a book, ideally a journal or a diary. And I said we're writing things down so that we can easily remember them, so that they're clear to us, and a book is not easy to get lost. Thirdly, you need to ask yourself the question. What are the most important things to me? Then begin to write them down. Then the next step is to cut them down to the top 5 of your values. Now begin to prioritize your life around these activities and your time around these activities. Then the last step is to set your goals in line with your values. Now, that is it from me. That is how you find your values. Now, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment, and of course, if you want to be part of this community, just hit the subscribe button so that every time we upload a video and every Monday, we're able to send it to you. And if this is valuable to you, I want to hear from you. I would like to hear from you. Please send your comments, and I'll definitely respond back to you. Have a great week ahead, and I hope this is really, really helpful to you. This is Jabu Matonzela, Growth 360. We are committed to your growth in every area of your life. Now have a great week ahead. Until next week, Monday.